Welcome back to another Cavs game reaction. Game 16, where the Cavs lose to the Lakers last night. Final score of 121 to 115. Bit of a tough loss to take as the Cavs had a decent opportunity at this one. Lakers missing a good chunk of their players. A lot of people in the Lakers rotation not available. Although a couple players that were healthy and ready to go were for Los Angeles in this one included Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And when those two are going, that's going to make it tough to game plan for any team. But of those two, last night Anthony Davis was the more dominant star for LA. He had a double-double of 32 points and 13 rebounds. Also got himself 3 blocks and 2 steals. Definitely a game that showed just how elite Anthony Davis still is at this point. LeBron did get a healthy dose of, points and got some rebounds and assists in there, but it was pretty rough for him, at least as far as shooting the ball goes, including going 1 for 9 from beyond the arc. And when LeBron plays the Cavs, it's always going to be a thing. It's not as much of a pompous and fanfare thing as it was, but there is always going to be something about it when LeBron goes against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's just always how it's going to be. But for the Cavs side, Jarrett Allen probably had what was his best game yet all season. Despite the loss and the Cavs dipping back to 500, they're now 8-8. Allen having a dynamic game is definitely going to bode well for Cleveland if he can take this kind of game and have similar performances down the stretch. That is definitely going to help Cleveland out. He had 21 points and 14 rebounds last night, including 2 blocks and 2 steals. Darius Garland had to leave after playing only 14 minutes. He is questionable for the Cavs game tonight against Toronto. He's officially listed as day-to-day. As far as the injuries go for tonight, Dean Wade and Ty Jerome have already been ruled out on that front. But in games like the Cavs played against the Lakers, you're definitely going to need Donovan Mitchell to be a much more reliable shooter. And look, Donovan Mitchell's name is going to be getting thrown around in trade rumors quite a lot this season. It's already going on where I see under his social media posts of all fans of other teams saying that they're going to be traded to some other team, name some other NBA team, and he's going to be going there. But for now, until something heats up, I'm just going to treat Donovan Mitchell as a Cavalier. I know he's here for right now. That's how I'm going to view it as. And he did get 22 points with 5 rebounds and 6 assists, but he did so on just 4 of 18 shooting. That is nowhere near good enough if the Cavs are going to do anything as far as what their long-term goals are for this season, like playoff series or anything like that. 4 of 18 is not going to get it done. A lot of his points coming from the free throw line, which it's good that he's hitting his free throws and he's getting a lot of them, but when you're only making 4 shots when you're taking 18, that's usually not a recipe for success. And you figure with how close this game was for the majority of it, and it was close the whole way through. The Cavs didn't lose by a whole lot. You have to figure that if just an average amount of shots go in for Donovan Mitchell, maybe this thing goes the other way, but that's neither here nor there at this point. Cavs already lost the game. Caris LeVert off the bench also had a bit of a subpar shooting night, including going 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, 3 for 9 overall from the floor. Still able to get 8 assists, so Caris LeVert, when he has the ball in his hands a lot, if the shots are falling and if he's being a dynamic scorer, then that's when we've seen Caris LeVert really shine. But it's been a lot of hot and cold, especially as far as his shooting goal, as far as his shooting goes. So even though he gets those 8 assists, when the shots aren't falling, it's just not a complete game that you're getting from Caris LeVert from game to game. And despite losing his double-double streak, it still was a decent outing for Evan Mobley last night. He got 18 points with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Also contributed 4 steals and a block as well. So Evan Mobley continues to be a good presence for this Cavalier team. I did mention Darius Garland leaving, but you can't really cry injury with how banged up the Lakers were for this contest last night. They ran an 8-man rotation, and they pretty much needed all 8 of those guys to go for a decent amount of minutes. This is a game that does sting to lose because, again, not only just because of the LeBron stuff that I mentioned earlier. It's always tough to see him. That's not like a hating LeBron thing, but it is just kind of like, man, a guy that used to be good for the team you cheered for, kind of coming back and prospering against you is always going to be at best bittersweet. But just because of how close the Cavs were in this one, you definitely want to see the Cavs nab some winnable games, especially with their record being what it is. I mean, 500 isn't exactly all that impressive. They did have a bit of a rough start with injuries, but again, if there are games that are up for grabs, you definitely want to see Cleveland come out on the better end of them. It's not like the sky's on fire or anything. The Lakers, they're getting better. They were banged up though, so you had an opportunity to get the victory there. But they don't have a lot of time to reflect on it before they go at it again this evening. Again, that game is against Toronto, and the Cavs will look to avoid dipping below 500 again in this season. And that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you didn't make it this far into it, leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more like it. You can let me know down in the comments what you thought about this game and how the Cavs could do tonight against Toronto or in the near future in general. I do have some other videos about other Ohio sports teams. You might like those on the channel. But once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next one.